Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you to the Government Blockchain Association for inviting me here today. My name is Dominic Zagara. I'm a former crypto regulator with NYDFS, and this is Blaze. He's a adorable service dog that helps me manage my diabetes. The reason that I'm here today is to talk about decentralized identity. I'm hoping to introduce a lot of new terms. And I am currently a consultant, so I had to make a million slides to walk you through all of them. Do we have my slides ready to go? I have a clicker. Fantastic. These are all the words that will be included in your tote bag. We're going to make all of these words come to life. Before we do, let's look at the United States. What is the progress with mobile driver's licenses? Currently, almost 80% of states have an active initiative to put their driver's licenses on the internet in some form or the other. This is incredibly encouraging, particularly in California. They're doing some very interesting stuff there. So if we're going to understand decentralized identity, we have to understand tokenization. Tokenization was very popular in 2025. The number one example that comes to mind is stablecoins. Very clear financial use case. Take a US dollar, put it on the blockchain. If you've been in crypto as long as I have, you know that there have been some not so clear use case things that have been put on the blockchain as well. We tokenized baseball cards into NFTs, also basketball cards. I fell for that one. When it comes to identity, there are some special properties that we need to consider when putting personal identifiable information on otherwise open and transparent ledgers. What I'm about to walk through is W3C's verifiable credentials framework. Verifiable credentials are all about subjects. Subjects can be humans, like Janice, or they could be dogs, like Blaze. Issuers, like the California DMV, or a veterinarian, have the credibility to assert claims about subjects. Verifiable credential issuance occurs when an issuer formalizes these claims about a subject and delivers those claims to the subject. So what can Janice do with this fancy verifiable credential? Let's say she wants to go to a bar. She shows up at the bar and she presents her ID. In a verifiable presentation, she is able to provide the minimum amount of data required to validate and satisfy the policy of the verifier. In this case, the verifier is the local bar. Isn't that convenient? I'm sure someone here has forgotten their ID when trying to get into one of these establishments. So why haven't we got broad adoption? The truth is, human data is risky, and governments, they're risk averse. Putting more data in an open ledger, it's never going to work. What I present via dog tag is a low stakes version of data where we can introduce governments to verifiable credentials using living, breathing creatures that, thank God, do not have HIPAA rights. If Congress, where we currently are, gives dogs HIPAA rights, I'm done. It's over. So what does that look like? We take dog vaccination records and we put them on the blockchain with the critical information that's necessary for government verification. What do we get from that? I'd like to tell you about a trip I took in November to Madrid. This trip introduced me to a painfully antiquated process that the USDA currently uses for pet travel. The process makes sense from a policy standpoint. I think everyone here would agree that having controls in place to make sure rabid dogs are not leaving America or coming back to America is reasonable. However, using paper forms, literal rubber stamps, and requiring citizens to pay for overnight shipping to meet a 10-day timeline before their trip is unreasonable. And in the age of blockchain, it's not necessary. What I propose is a more streamlined solution using verifiable credentials where dog owners, like me, can take their dogs more easily to the places they'd love to go. And the government can feel comfortable and feel safe that those dogs have all of the right vaccination requirements. And they can do it autonomously. They can do it in less than 10 minutes instead of 10 days. Anyone here is with the USDA? I'd love to talk to you about making sure your policies are upheld and your costs, your processing time is slashed. Thank you very much. All right, Blaze, let's go.